Greetings and welcome to the Hope Recovery Podcast, hosted by Greg Schmalhofer. The Hope Recovery Podcast is published every Monday to help you be successful in recovery and to grow in your faith as well. Hello and welcome to the Hope Recovery Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Schmalhofer, and this is episode number 50. So thank you so much for joining me today on the Hope Recovery Podcast. Today's podcast episode is called You Have Another Chance, and it is based somewhat on a devotional message from my book, The Hope Recovery Devotional. And so let me suggest to you that regardless of where you are at in your recovery, or even in the midst of any struggle of life, you do indeed have another chance. You have another chance to be successful in recovery. You have another chance to honor God in the midst of whatever struggle of life you're in the middle of. This message that you have another chance makes me think of a dear friend who is in the midst of a difficult struggle himself right now. This dear friend has struggled with alcoholism for many years, and he recently had a relapse and was in the hospital ICU for several days for a medical detox. While he is very disappointed in himself for the relapse, he is trying again to recover and to get well again so that he can continue his recovery and to learn from his past relapse so that he can try again to be successful in recovery even in the midst of this recent struggle. He understands that he does indeed have another chance at recovery, and another chance at life as well. Perhaps this is where you are at right now, or perhaps you have a friend or loved one who is in a similar situation. I encourage you to understand that you have another chance. You have another chance at recovery, and even another chance at life. Narcotics Anonymous speaks about this opportunity for another chance at life when it says this on page 220. It says, "In the life of every addict, there are crossroads, times when we could stop using and take responsibility for our lives if we make the choice. I went through the crossroads one day in the bus station toilets and chose the wrong path. I think I was supposed to die, but by the grace of God, I was given another chance. I have been clean for 16 years. Perhaps this NA quote describes you and your recovery story. Or perhaps it describes what you are right now in the midst of in your life. Many have died from the terrible devastation of drugs and alcohol. Perhaps you were near death from an overdose and had to have an emergency treatment of naloxone to bring you back. Perhaps over the years, you have needed to be revived from multiple overdose incidents. And sadly, there are many that tragically died from their addiction to drugs or alcohol. But if you are listening to this podcast right now, you are not dead. Drugs and alcohol did not kill you. You have another chance. You have another chance to be successful in recovery, and you have another chance at life. And you have another chance to see what God has for you with this new opportunity for recovery and for life as well. This reminds me of the passage from John chapter 11, verses 40 through 44, which goes like this. Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" When he had said this, Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." In this passage, the Apostle John describes how Jesus brought Lazarus back to life again in dramatic fashion. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And for Jesus to bring him back to life was indeed an amazing demonstration of the power of God. You may feel that in your addiction, you were almost dead. That in the depths of your addiction, you were just barely alive, and you were not sure you could even make it another day. While Jesus is no longer with us here on earth as he was then, the very same power of God, though, is still available. God says to us and to you today that if you believe, you will see the glory of God. I encourage you to embrace this amazing power of God and believe that God can move in your life and that God will indeed help you. You do indeed have another chance. You have another opportunity to see the power of God and the glory of God in your life. Take off the grave clothes of your past life. Leave your past in the past and now go with God. You have another chance, a second chance at life. I encourage you to take full advantage of this brand new opportunity. God has saved you for a purpose. I encourage you to bring God into your life and to trust him. Trust him as you never have before. And you will see the power of God in your life and in your recovery. And just as this passage says, you will see the glory of God in your life. Recovery is absolutely possible. I encourage you to give thanks to God for this new chance at recovery and new chance at life. Get whatever treatment is necessary to get healthy and well again, and then trust God. Follow his direction for your recovery and for your life, and you will begin to see what God has for you in this brand new chance at recovery and brand new chance at life. A life that is more than just clean and sober, but a full and abundant life as well. That is what I have for you today. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Hope Recovery Podcast. And remember, there is always hope with God. Take care, and God bless you all. That concludes the podcast episode for today. But let me briefly mention that if you are interested in more faith-based recovery resources for yourself or a friend or loved one, or for a recovery group or recovery ministry at your church, I encourage you to visit the website at www.HopeRecoveryUs. There you can find more information on my 2 faith-based recovery books, the Hope Recovery Devotional and the 12 Keys of Faith-Based Recovery, and many other resources as well. And if there is any way that I can help you or your recovery group, please feel free to email me at HopeRecoveryUs@gmail.com, and I would be happy to talk with you further. And again, take care, and God bless you all.